back into the action for another day of the week. Welcome to the Thursday edition of Chasing That Paper, presented by VegasInsider.com. Oh, baby, coming off a 3-2 showing there yesterday. A second consecutive 3-2 showing. We were moving in the right direction as a result. My wife cannot keep her hands off of me. I overslept this morning. I'm ready to rock for her big show today. We're all over the map today, covering NBA, college hoops, NHL, and we have our official UFC 285 betting preview. Big card coming up on Saturday. Let's bring in my co-host for the day, senior editor over at VegasInsider, Iain MacMillan, going all in on his Atlanta Falcons. And what went through your mind, Iain, when you woke up this morning and said, I'm going to put my Falcon shirt on? Or is this something that you had planned ahead for?
No, I've had some bad luck with betting lately. I lost 2 props last night by the hook. The Ducks lost in overtime. So I figured, you know, what's going to help me turn my luck around is to wear my Atlanta Falcons shirt, because no team is luckier than the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, I had a great January. I think I did around 7 or 8 units. I had a shitty February. I probably gave it all back. But now we're off to a little bit of a decent start here in March. So we're going to try to keep that going as we march into March Madness. Okay, lots to get into here, guys. So let's get right into the action. We're going to start things off in the NBA down in beautiful San Antonio, Texas, where the Indiana Pacers are in 10. I'm going to take a shot on those Pacers to cover the spread as a 4.5-point favorite over at BetMGM this morning. So the Spurs fade train is back on. Nice win by the Spurs on Tuesday night. But you haven't thrown me off the scent for a goddamn second. This team is 2-14 against the spread in their last 16 games. The race to the bottom continues tonight. The Rockets, Pistons, and Hornets all losing last night. The Spurs got to keep pace. Strong play post-All-Star from Indiana here. They're not throwing in the towel. 2 outright wins as an underdog versus the Mavs and the Magic. They kept things close in a game versus the Celtics. 3-0 ATS since the break for them. Great shooting and taking care of the basketball. You dig into the numbers for the Spurs. Not pretty. Last 10 games, 28th in EFG shooting percentage, 28th in turnover percentage, and dead last in opponent free throw attempt rate. Choo-choo! Fade train's back on. Pacers, -4.5. Over to college hoops, Iain, what are we starting with?
Going to start off with the game of the night here. It takes place in the MAC. Not the MAC, the MAC. 2 A's in there. I'm going to take the Rider Bronx, -3.5 against the St. Peter's Peacocks. The Cocks. We're fading the Cocks. Probably remember the Cocks from March Madness. There we go. Yeah, a little turkey for you. Not quite a peacock, but close enough. You probably remember this team from the March Madness run they went on last year. Well, I'm here to tell you, we're not going to see another Cinderella run from this team. Their tournament is coming up. This is not a tournament game, still regular season, but Ryder should be able to handle this team with ease, because the St. Peter's Peacocks this season are quite literally the second worst shooting team in the country. They rank 362nd in effective field goal percentage. That's not good. There's only 363 teams. They're 362nd. Not good. And I think the Bronx, by the way, stupid team name. Just call yourselves the Broncos. Don't call yourself the Bronx. 7th and 2-point shot rate. I think they can attack St. Peter's down low here. St. Peter's 147th in opponent 2-point field goal percentage. And that mark has gotten even worse over their last 3 games. St. Peter's allowing teams to shoot 60% from down low over their last 3 games. I think the Bronx can attack them in that area. And also, I think we should expect a repeat performance in the rematch. These 2 teams have already played once this season. Ryder won 82-61, outshot them by 18%, out-rebounded them by 11, dominated them in every facet of the game. I don't see anything that makes me think this game is going to go in St. Peter's favor. Maybe Ryder won't blow them out, but they can cover this 3.5-point spread. Give me the Bronx tonight.
All right, back to the NBA. We go out to the West Coast. Fun-looking game here. Clippers, Warriors. Absolutely love the over. This one, number set at 231. 1.5. Let's get into it. We're seeing some great three-point shooting from each of these teams. Bombs away! Last 10 games, they are second and third in three-point shooting percentage, second and fourth in points per game in this span as well. So the scoreboard operator will be earning his money tonight. Give this man or woman a goddamn raise. Spotty defense from the paper clips here lately. Defense used to be their calling card, not so much anymore. Last 10 games, 26 in opponent EFG percentage, 28th specifically in opponent three-point percentage. Clips, by the way, they are the second best road over bet in the NBA this season. Back on Valentine's Day, these teams played. They combined for 258 points in a 134-124 Clippers win. I wouldn't be shocked to see a repeat of that tonight. Good-looking number, over 231.5. All right, Ian, back to college hoops. What do you got?
Yeah, a little bit of maybe a more anticipated game tonight. We're looking at the Big Ten showdown between the Purdue Boilermakers and the Wisconsin Badgers, and I'll lay the points here with Purdue. -4 against Wisconsin. Let's not lose faith in this Purdue team. I know they're 2-4 in their last 6 games, but a good bounce-back spot tonight. I think it's a good buy low spot on Purdue. Let's not lose faith in the former #1 ranked team in the country here, because they're going to rebound the crap out of the ball tonight. They are quite literally the best rebounding team in the country, first in rebounding percentage, and now they get to go up against a Wisconsin team that's 316th in rebounding. I see plenty of offensive boards in their future tonight, and also I think they can shut down Wisconsin on the perimeter. Wisconsin ranks inside the top 80 in three-point shot rate, and Purdue is 25th in opponent three-point field goal percentage, keeping teams to shooting just 30.6% from beyond the arc. So I lay the 4 points with Purdue tonight at Wisconsin.
All right, next up we move to the ice, and we have a super sexy matchup down in Tampa Bay with the five-time Stanley Cup champion Pittsburgh Penguins in town. Absolutely love the over in this game, coming in at 6.5 on the total here. So each of these offenses absolutely flying. Last 10 games, second and fourth in expected goals for, second and fifth high danger chances for, each power play clicking at the moment as well. And as a result of that and some bad defense, each of these goalies should expect to get absolutely peppered in this one. Each of these teams in the bottom 9 in high danger chances and shots allowed over the last 10 games. And this matchup has a history of high scoring. Recently, for the last 5 between the teams has gone over, including combining for 10 goals on Sunday. 11 of the last 14 between these teams in Tampa Bay has also gone over the number. Give me over 6.5 Penguins. Lightning. All right, Ian, bring it home. What do you got for your final pick?
Got a total bet in the Pac-12 between USC and Arizona. I'm going to go under 155. That is 155 points. I think there's going to be fewer than that score tonight when USC takes on Arizona. First of all, I think this is going to be an absolute dogfight down low. Both these teams keep the majority of their shots within the three-point shot mark. Both interior offenses here, but both of their defenses are extremely strong in the interior. USC second in the country. Arizona 32nd in the country in opponent two-point field goal percentage. I think points are going to be hard to come by down low. Also, USC in the bottom half of the country in pace of play, 204th in field goal attempts per game. And I just don't understand why this total is so high. In USC games this season, they have an average combined score of 139. That's what, 16, 17 points lower than the set total for tonight. Even Arizona, who does play in a lot of more high-scoring games, are only averaging 154.7 points per game this year. That's still a touch under the set total for tonight. So I don't get why it's at 155.5. Give me the under in what I think should be a defensive slugfest between the Trojans and the Wildcats.
Wildcats, baby. All right. UFC 285 preview coming right up. Before we get into that, quick reminder, if you're on YouTube right now, do me a favor, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button as well. It makes our content a lot easier to find here at Vegas Insider. So if you're looking to tail any of our action or fade it, voice quite simply as yours. I recommend placing that action over at BetMGM. Let me tell you a little bit about them. The king of sportsbooks. Sign up with BetMGM using the promo code VIBONUS. Get a first bet offer up to $1,000 back. Payback in bonus bets if you don't win. That's VI bonus, all one word, no spaces, for a first bet offer of up to $1,000 paid back in bonus bets. If you don't win, just use the code VI bonus. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. You must be 21 years or older to wager. Offers for new customers only. BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks.
Broncos country, let's ride.
Wondering what sound effect Tito was going to use there. He's gone to the woo. He must have hit the woo button 7 or 8 times already. So then for no reason he uses Broncos. Now we made him eliminate. That's a decent one. We made him eliminate the damn sound effect because it was just too jarring and was using it at inappropriate times. But Ian and I have consistently challenged him to up his game.
Add some more, Tito. There's only like, what, 4? We got to add a couple more. We need some more variety. Oh, it's not bad.
The woo is good, but when you're hit just nonstop, it loses its luster. Okay, let's get into it. It is now time for our official UFC 285 betting preview. It is the return of the man who many consider to be the GOAT. I think it's GSP, but Jon Jones can overtake him. So let's start there with the main event. The heavyweight title is on the line, and I'm going to take that man who many consider to be the GOAT, Jon Jones, coming in at -165. No funny business here. So 2 big red flags for each fighter in this one. Let's discuss why I think Gane's red flag is much more concerning. Gane was out-wrestled by Francis Ngannou. Not exactly an NCAA level wrestler or BJJ black belt. Ngannou had 4 takedowns in 8 minutes and 29 seconds of octagon control versus Gane. If Ngannou was able to manhandle Gane like that, what do you think Jones, perhaps the most complete fighter the sport has ever seen, will do? As for Jones's red flag, the time away from the octagon, over 3 years, I think it might turn out to be a good thing. Man, many considers to be the GOAT, going down to the wire versus Dominic Reyes and Diego Santos. Come on, this dude was completely bored and unmotivated by those fights. Now, with some time away and a new challenge at a new weight class, distance has made the heart grow fonder. And let's be honest here, guys. When it comes to ring rust, we're guessing how it will impact the fighter, but we've seen many greats not be impacted by ring rust at all. GSP moving up to middleweight and winning the championship after a 4-year layoff. Ring a bell at all? And outlasting Jon Jones over a 25-minute fight is simply unrealistic. What is the path to victory for Gane here? It would have to be on the feet. I strongly doubt he knocks out the man who's never legitimately been beaten before, and I strongly doubt he outstrikes him over the course of 25 minutes. No funny business. Give me Jon Jones. Pop right back into things. Get on track. -165. Now, Ian, you not only disagree, you strongly disagree. Tell us why, and then we'll argue about it.
Yeah, I hammered Cyril Gane when the line opened at a pick'em. I thought there was no way he was going to be the underdog by the time the fight week got here. And now we're here, and now he is the underdog, so I hammered him even more, which now makes Cyril Gane the biggest bet I've placed in my life. I have more money on Cyril Gane than I've ever had on any fight, any game, any event, ever. That is how confident I am. This fight is not even going to be close. Give me Cyril Gane +140 to defeat the boogeyman, Jon Jones. 3-year layoff for Jon Jones. His last 2 fights he did fight. He didn't look good. I don't think he should have won either of them. Won a split decision against Thiago Santos. Won a controversial decision against Dominic Reyes. When was the last time Jon Jones looked good against a washed-up Alexander Gustafsson 5 years ago? And now he has to move up in weight class to a division he's never fought in before, after 3 years of not fighting at all, and taking on the guy who is probably the second best heavyweight in the world behind Francis Ngannou and Cyril Gane. I think this is a no-brainer bet. Jon Jones doesn't have the power to fight at heavyweight. Now, if he did take on a guy who's big and slow and just kind of stumbles around the octagon at heavyweight, which a lot of those guys do exist at that weight class, and maybe I'd take Jon Jones because he has the speed and footwork to just be able to dance around him on way to a decision victory, but he can't do that against Cyril Gane. This is a nightmare matchup for Cyril Gane. He has the footwork, he has the speed of a light heavyweight, Gane does, but he also has the power of a heavyweight. I don't see where Jon Jones has an advantage in this fight. Sure, Gane got taken down by Francis Ngannou, but Francis Ngannou is a whole different animal than Jon Jones in terms of strength. I don't think Jon Jones can wrestle him. I don't think he can knock him out. I don't think he can win via decision. This is a no-brainer bet for me. The biggest bet I have placed in my life. Cyril Gane, plus 140.
Yeah, I think when Ian makes these proclamations about the biggest bets he's made in his life, I think he's got about a 100% failure rate on these. I remember once upon a time, Chris Cyborg going up against Amanda Nunes. Ian would not shut up. That was probably previously the biggest UFC bet he ever made in his life on Chris Cyborg. She got absolutely starched.
Leading up to this fight, that still took the top spot as the biggest bet I've placed in my life. So this is what, 5-6 years later now. This fight has officially overtaken Chris Cyborg, who was the biggest bet I placed in my entire life. And yeah, Chris Cyborg lost in the first round by knockout. I will say though, what is now the third biggest bet of my entire life was LSU in the national championship game against Clemson. So I'm 1-1 out of my top 2 biggest bets of all time. But you're right. Most of the time when I place a big bet, it goes terribly wrong. So we'll see how it goes on Saturday.
Yeah, I don't totally disagree that it's a bad number on Gane. That wrestling about a year ago versus a compromised Francis Ngannou, that is a huge concern. The ring rust, we're guessing. Some guys are impacted by it. I think it impacts Conor McGregor, for example. But a lot of guys, GSP won the middleweight championship. Dominic Cruz returned once after a big layoff. Had a couple good performances. So, yeah, agree to disagree. Hopefully we get a good fight there on Saturday night. That one. Okay, let's drop down one fight to the co-main event. The women's flyweight title is on the line here. And I think this is the best bargain on the entire card. Valentina Shevchenko by KO/TKO going off at plus 220. Are you kidding me? What a bargain. So plus 220 on this prop for a fighter that's minus 800 to win? That must indicate she's not much of a finisher, but that couldn't be further from the truth. She's won 3 of her last 5 via strikes, and this is a tailor-made opponent for her because aggressive strikers get got versus the bullet. Laura Murphy, Jessica Andrade, Shakugi, and Jessica Ai, all aggressive fighters that come out throwing. Shevchenko found a spot versus all 4 and finished all 4 with punches, kicks, and elbows. And Grasso, she is way too aggressive and she gets hit way too much. Absorbs 4.02 significant strikes per minute. Not good. The bargain of the card for UFC 285 Shevchenko by TKO/KO plus 20. Ian, what are you looking at next?
Next up, I'm going down to, I believe this is the prelim main event. Trevin Jones against Cody Garbrandt. I'm going to go under 1.5 rounds in this fight, which you can get at even money. First things first, and this is the obvious point that everyone knows, Cody Garbrandt's chin has gone. It's disappeared. It's no longer there. 4 of his last 5 losses inside the UFC have come via KO/TKO. And we all know, anyone who's watched mixed martial arts for any extended period of time, we all know, once your chin is gone, it is near impossible to get it back. But it's not just him that could get knocked out early. He could be the one doing the knockout because Jones has terrible defense. He absorbs 4.96 significant strikes per minute, has a defense rate of just 40%. I think someone's getting knocked out early in this fight. I don't know who it is, and that would keep up with history because Cody Garbrandt's last 10 fights, 6 of them ended in the first round. Sometimes he's on the losing end, sometimes he's on the winning end, but I don't care if he wins or loses. I just need this fight to end early. Give me Jones Garbrandt under 1.5 rounds at even money.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. That would be my fourth favorite bet for the card. It didn't make the cut into my top three, but Cody Garbrandt totally washed up. The UFC tried to give him a big push once upon a time, but this looks like they're trying to give him a little bit of a layup with this opponent. So, yeah, that one should be a quick fight. Another fight I don't think goes the distance. My third favorite bet of the card. It's the big Gamrot Jalen Turner fight, a big lightweight fight here. I'm going to take under 2.5 rounds. Well worth the price tag at -150. So check out Turner. 15 of his 18 career fights have been finished in under 2.5 rounds. This includes 8 of 9 in the UFC. It's kill or be killed in Turner fights. Gamrot is a finisher as well. He's finished 3 of his last 5 in the UFC. We should expect a fast-paced fight with high volume striking here. Turner's all action, landing 6.48 significant strikes per minute, but this leads to getting hit a lot, and Gamrot is not trigger shy, as we know, and strong takedown defense could keep this fight standing. 90% takedown defense from Gamrot, 77% from Turner. Be surprised if a lot of time is spent on the ground. As we know, time on the mat often chews up a lot of clock and can hurt an under bet. Don't expect a heavy wrestling or grappling affair here. Under 2.5 rounds for a Gamrot Turner. -150. Okay, Ian, bring it home for us. Your final pick.
Going with a women's fight on the prelims here. I'm going to take Amanda Hebus, -120 against Vivian Araujo. Did I pronounce that right? Araujo? Is it Rebus? So. Is it Hebus?
Rebus.
Whatever the case is, I'll take Hebus -120. Huge defensive advantage for her here. She only absorbs 2.57 significant strikes per minute with a 70% defensive rate. Araujo absorbs 5.33 significant strikes per minute with a 56% defensive rate. So big defensive advantage here for Hebus. Also, I think she's pretty underrated in the UFC. 5-2 inside the UFC. She has impressive wins over Mackenzie Dern, Randa Marcos, Paige Van Zandt. Remember her? That's a name I haven't heard for a while. She did just lose a split decision to a very tough Caitlin Chookagian. And Araujo is going to have some takedown issues. That's what she has kind of relied on over the last few fights. But Amanda Hebus has an 88% takedown defense. Also is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt and has submissions in her toolkit, obviously, which comes when you're a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So I'll take Amanda Hebus -120.
Ribas. Yeah, exciting young fighter. I think we'll be competing for a title, a championship here one day. So we put a poll up on the Vegas Insider Twitter feed asking people to weigh in their thoughts on the main events. And yeah, I mean, Jones, he's -165. So of course you would assume that the majority of the people would be on him. That is the case here at 60.2%. Now, this opened at close to a pick. Wasn't Jones?
It was a pick.
Jones, yeah. So man, you have missed the boat. As we know, getting your bets in is all about timing. I know a lot of people, like when they announced this, 2 months ago, it became official. Probably not a lot of appeal for a lot of people to get a bet in right away. But if you did on Jones, hey, you're smiling. He's got to go on to win the fight, of course. But yeah, one thing that I think that this fight could actually go the distance. Jon Jones has become a little bit of a decision machine. Over his last couple fights, at least. I don't think Gane has incredible knockout power by any means. But yeah, I'm just playing it safe and going to take Jones -165. So something I want to discuss here, Ian, and get you to weigh in on. I tweeted about it last night. So if you guys watched the show yesterday, you know that I took the Philadelphia 76ers to cover as a 2-point favorite in Miami versus the Heat. Probably about an hour, 45 minutes before the game, the Philadelphia 76ers announced that, hey, Joel Embiid won't be playing. Most people who would have bet on the Sixers would have thought, well, that sucks. Didn't faze me one bit. They went from -2 to +3.5 without him. And they went on to kick the living shit out of the Heat by 25 points. Now, this is the fourth, I think maybe the fifth or sixth time this has happened to me this season, where I bet on a team. It happened with the Lakers versus the Heat. LeBron got scratched an hour before. It happened with Luka versus somebody. It happened with Trae Young versus somebody. And the team goes on to win. Anyways, I tweeted about this last night, and people said, oh, yeah, the missing player theory. And it's funny, Tito and I, he's a big Miami Heat fan, and him and I joke about this. When, it looks like I'm getting screwed, and it's no sweat whatsoever. So he tweeted to me about an hour, 45 minutes before the game, MB late scratch. You know what that means? 76ers win by 15. Not even close, Tito. They won by 25. Then, of course, the game wraps up. I send the laughing emoji. Truly unbelievable. It is a lock every time. And this is something I just haven't noticed this season. I've noticed it quite a bit in the past. It's funny in the NBA where this happens, and it's like a well-known thing throughout for NBA bettors. What do we chalk this up to? Is it some mental type of a thing where, okay, the Miami Heat are in shoot-around and they hear that, wow, Embiid's not playing, and they take their foot off the gas? Then on the Philadelphia 76ers side, is it an ego thing from the other players? Okay, our best players out, let's show up and, give our best performance. What do you chalk this up to, Ian?
I don't know about the actual performances itself. I think from a betting standpoint, what happens is someone gets ruled out, and then bettors, especially sharp bettors first, because they're usually the ones, the pros are the ones who get to it first, hammer the opposite side, and then it gets to a line where it should be, but then the casual bettors come in and then hammer it even more, which then causes the line to move past the mark where it should be. So I do this all the time in the NFL. It's one of my favorite things doing in the NFL is underreact to injury news. Just because someone's out doesn't mean they're automatically going to lose, which is what you're talking about here. So wait until right before tip-off when the line gets way over to the other direction, to the other extreme, and then bet on the injured team. And it's worked for me in the past. Worked for you last night.
Yeah, especially in the NFL, people really overreact to the skill players, the big fantasy guys. The big wide receiver is going to be at the big running back. I think the casual bettor overreacts to that. I think it's fair. It's the cluster injuries that I think you do have to react to. If they announce day of game, hey, 2 of our best offensive linemen are going to be out, that's a pretty big issue. 2 or 3 of our receivers are going to be out. Okay, we got an issue there. But yeah, people do tend to overreact to player absences. Okay, we're going to get into our viewer picks here momentarily. We got quite a few submissions here today. But first, I want to tell you guys about the VegasInsider app. It gives you all the major sports betting odds at your fingertips, along with picks and expert breakdowns. You can shop for the best odds, find props, features, and plenty more with the app. If you want more Vegas Insider content like our shows, videos, and podcasts, you can find it all on the app in the media section. Download the Vegas Insider app on Apple or Android. Bet better with the Vegas Insider app. Yeah. The woo is really getting exposed as an overused sound effect on this program. We gotta, Tito, you gotta get approval for, an actual sound effects budget. You can go and buy these things, these production suites, and they'll have 1,000 different sound effects you can use.
And he would still use the woo 18 times a show.
It's good when you're bam, 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 and you really hit on something. Woo! But it's I like this team to cover the spread. No,
that one's used on every sports show of all time.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into viewer picks. Quite a few submissions here today. We're getting to most of them. Apologies for the ones that didn't. Please submit again tomorrow. We asked people for UFC. We have Chris, I think, submitting here for the first time. Give Chris a follow. And yeah, this is something I've heard about too. I've learned my lesson the hard way. Never bet against blonde Derek Brunson. I saw a picture of him on Twitter yesterday. He has dyed his hair blonde. At plus 190 right now, the value is too high to pass up. His opponent punches himself out, and Brunson's strong wrestling takes over for the win. Yeah, Brunson, you can often get that decent underdog value on him, and he's got blonde hair. How can you fade that? All right, what do we have next? All right, Kowloon City weighing in. He's siding with me. I'm taking the easy way out. He's looking for a little bit more value. Jon Jones inside the distance, plus 210. Gone absolutely zero ground game. Jon takes him down over and over and over, eventually landing ground and pound TKO or hooks in the sub.
Wrong.
Yeah, I'm playing it safe. I'm just taking Jones to win, -165. All right, what do we have next? Greg weighing in. Give Greg a follow on Twitter. The Appalachian State. Who's USA? That's San Antonio?
That's South Alabama. I have Alabama to win that tournament. That is the Sun Belt.
Okay. Wow. He's taking the under 130.5. You dig into the stats here. 13-25 in fouls, 13-90 versus point shots, 39-19 in turnovers, and the pace is the one that really stands out, 298 and 289. Love these stats for an afternoon under. You're looking for some afternoon action on a Thursday? I love weekday sports. That's why you love baseball. Just random games going on all the time. I love it for this time of year for college basketball as well. Good luck to Greg, and good luck if anyone decides to tail that one. What do we have next?
Here we go.
Ben.
Let's go, Benny, baby!
Ben BP Brock. Give him a follow on Twitter. He likes Gone +140. You shouldn't go from being favored over Ngannou to an underdog to Jon Jones with this question marks. Yeah. Okay. Opposite sides. I will agree to disagree with Ben as well. Nick's picks. Now, Nick submitted quite a bit during baseball season last year. If you are a Major League Baseball bettor, I strongly recommend giving Nick a follow on Twitter. This guy knows his stuff, so he's got a player's future bet here, and I like this one. I'm kind of surprised at this number, actually. Corey Seager, over 275 average. I thought it would be a bit higher, but looks like pretty good value here. You look at last year, 283 expected batting average, career 293, 287 career batting averge anyways. And here's the stat that this guy digs deep. 58 hits lost due to the shift. 2020, that's first in all of baseball. Shifted against 93% of at-bats last season. Of course, we know the shift is banned. So yeah, worth a look there if you're looking for some players' futures bets there. Good look from Nick. We hope he comes back and submits again. So good luck to him there. And I think we have one more, maybe. Yes, of course. Trekkengost. He got bit by overtime last night. He took a big swing on the Flyers. I think they were, +180. They went to overtime against the Rangers, and they lost. Doesn't that suck? Take a swing on a dog, and they lose in overtime. He's taking a swing here. He's a fellow Penguins fan. Likes them on the money line, +150. Penguins are playing much better hockey, by the way. You dig into the numbers there. A lot of stats lining up for them. Better than Tampa Bay. Pittsburgh has won 3 straight, while Tampa Bay has lost 5 of 7. Pens are 4-1 in their last 5 matchups, outscoring Tampa 25-13. They've really had their number. And have won by 4. 3 straight. They've won by 4. I know they kicked their ass on Sunday. Good luck. Good luck. Pittsburgh Penguins. That is a game that I will be watching tonight. What game will you be watching tonight, Ian? Is there one game specifically on your radar?
Yeah, my Toronto Maple Leafs against the Calgary Flames.
Aren't they playing Edmonton?
Last night they played Edmonton. They got their asses kicked.
Yes, indeed. And that's just one of those games. Fuck the Edmonton Oilers. Everything lines up for them in these games, and I'll bet on them, and they go on to lose. It's ridiculous. Just one of those teams. They're that team for me in the NHL this season. And when I was like going to handicap that game the other day, and I was like, you know what? I want no part of this, because I've had some losses like that with the Leafs as well. So screw those teams. Okay, guys, it's out of time for today's Handicapper Heat Check, presented by VegasInsider.com, your home for the best expert picks in the business. Since 1997, VI expert Brian Bittler had a perfect 4-0 all-sports record last night in his 4-0 in college hoops over the last 2 days. Scott Pritchard is on an 18-7 college hoops run and hit 4 straight NBA winners. Bill Marzano 7-2 in the NBA yesterday. Visit VegasInsider.com/picks for tonight's best bets. That's VegasInsider.com/picks. That's your handicapper heat check. Stay hot, betters. Woo! All right, great show today, Ian. Covered a lot, but you also have a lot else, a lot of other content out there in the sports betting atmosphere.
Yes.
I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. Tell us a little bit about where we can find it.
Bacon Bets podcast, Monday to Friday, out on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts at 7 a.m. Eastern. You might have noticed I didn't give out any NHL picks on this show today. That is because my NHL picks are over on the Bacon Bets podcast. So after we're done this show, go check that out. You'll get my 4 NHL best bets for tonight.
Nice. Any thoughts on Penguins Lightning?
I do not have a bet on that game. I like your over bet, though.
Yeah, it's a decent goaltending matchup, but Jerry and Vasilevsky have each been spotty at times. They're going to be busy tonight. Okay, that does it for today's show. We're going to be right back with you tomorrow. Our best bets for the NBA, college basketball, and the NHL. And we're going to be taking a deep dive into March Madness futures. It is right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. And, of course, Ian will be back. Best of luck with your bets tonight, unless, of course, you are fading us. And as always, keep chasing that paper. Woo!